I have some Silentforces for you today. I'm so happy to see that this deck is getting a chance to shine. Raidraptors as well. And of course, it just isn't a video without seeing 80,000 decks abusing Promethean Princess as well. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Yes, that is Silentforces. And yes, this actually did well. Now, first thing I see here is, you know, we have to be playing a Minkanko package in this, right? Because Ohime is one of the stupidest cards that you could ever bring to the table. See, we're also playing the White Knight of Dogmatica in here as well. And we're only playing 2 copies of Skull Guardian. Honestly, this whole little ritual package that just lets you kind of diversify and decide whichever line of play that you want to go down is actually kind of crazy. I didn't actually realize how stupid this package was until I sat down and looked at this list. I was like, oh boy, you know, Nadir's Servant. Well, I don't really care, you know, who cares about my extra deck getting locked? Because I mean, we have our entire ritual toolbox at our disposal here, which gives us immediate access, kind of everything that we want. Now, I also see that we are playing a Primal Cry in here as well. Interestingly enough, you can banish this from your graveyard, target a ritual monster in your graveyard that was sent from the field this turn, and special summon it. Now, you actually have a way to drop this out of the deck, thanks to dear old Saphira here, because you can kind of just dump any ritual spell from your deck. So you can load down the Primal Cry here, and then you're kind of set up for floatability's sake. Now, if you were to want to learn how to play this deck, I'll be honest with you, the learning curve is extremely easy. Though I've been screeched at by a few people that are like, no, this is the adventure package, all right? You splash this in every ritual deck possible to maximize results. Well, unfortunately, it looks like that's wrong, and you probably want to stick to more of using this. It's like the base bone here, and then, of course, you know, using Diviner to drop Herald. Because, you know, level 6 tends to be one of the safest places to tend to want to be out here, because being able to drop Minkanko monsters is free. All right, we have Raidraptors for you. Now, in terms of competitive viability, I haven't seen this deck hit a lot of marks, alright, but I will be completely upfront and honest with you. This deck's combo lines are insane. Alright, like, the fact that this build is actually not even play. Oh, there it is. There's the good card. This stupid card right here makes the entire world go round for this, because if this thing goes to the graveyard while it has a Raidraptor material, you get to chum out our little friend Rising Rebellion Falcon here, which is just a 4K towers that your opponent's kind of forced to stare at and go, what do I do about this? Now, I do wholeheartedly believe that this build, or this deck, will do better in the TCG versus the OCG, like almost 100%. All right, like, you have a 1-card starter, and you know how people in the TCG are, they go, ooh, you know, plus this deck loves the special summon, so it does immediately run into some problems here with dear old Max C, but I think once you kind of get around a lot of the little hiccups that are kind of present with this deck is so stupid good. Also, you know, the fact Skip Force here is kind of free and doesn't bulk down any spots is really, really nice. So I can't wait for this deck to come out. I think looking at like the build, this is extremely streamlined for the OCG, and I think a lot more people are probably going to have issues with this. And, you know, if you don't have a Lava Golem or a Kaiju to immediately handle this, you're gonna cry all the way to the sleep. Ugh. All right, so now let's get into the more meta feel here. Now, I'll be upfront and honest with you. You're gonna be seeing a lot of the same story out of the weekend. Phantom Nightmare missed a lot of the mark for a lot of these events, but because it missed the mark, we did get one incredibly powerful card out of the set, and it was Promethean Princess here. Miss Promethean Princess, yeah, it locks you into not being able to do anything except for fire. Oh, okay. Well, I'll revive one of my terrible Salaman Greats, and then I'll go stop by Raging Phoenix. It's just, they've effectively given every fire deck the means to go, hey, you know, Raging Phoenix on over here? Oh, okay, you know, you can effectively make this so much easier. And yeah, once again, cool, you know, it's fire locked, but This thing also says, hey, your opponent does something, you can pop and then revive this. And now your opponent has to now deal with a floating 2700. It's not exactly what Salad really wanted. Actually, it's what every fire deck didn't know that they wanted, but they needed. And of course, the OCG still gets to play this card. Yeah, I know. I really wish that I could Kaiser Coliseum lock my opponent with a single Raging Phoenix in the extra monster zone, with my opponent just staring at me going, how do you expect me to out that? You know, it is kind of cool to see that Kaiser Coliseum is getting its day to shine again, because this card is so insane. It has so many ruling issues that are kind of crazy, but the fact that it still shines at the end of the day, it God, if the card didn't have so many ruling issues, it would be actually insane to have this card back. All right. Oh, so this came out of a 3v3 event. Actually, it was on the Winning Places team, and I wanted to kind of go ahead and toss this in here because we haven't really seen very much runic innovations out of the OCG ever since, you know, Fountain got punted to 1. You know, most of the mentality was, oh, Fountain's at 1, call it a day, guys. You know, and they also only have 1 skill drain, which still perplexes me, but, you know, TCG doesn't seem to think that we need to think anything different of this. It's fine. I also love the fact this deck gets away with playing Shifter. You know, let's be honest here. This deck should never be able or be allowed to resolve Shifter. And then, you know, kind of look around the room here, and you're like, hey, guess what? I just resolved Shifter. Tee-hee-hee. And you're like, what are you playing? You're like, oh, Runic. Your opponent's going to stare at you, and they're going to go, should you be doing that? And you're like, yeah, free. I also, the extra deck down here, this is essentially the Runic deck special, except for you make the decision of maybe cutting a Frecky for an extra Sleipnir, and you're kind of off to the races. I also like the fact that Dark Bribe is finally getting the chance to shine back here. Feels like, I still don't really like this card. I still like Solemn Judgment, but forcing one more card out of your opponent's deck does seem good. And, of course, you know, if this card doesn't tend to work out, just go ahead and board in Shifter, man. The OCG does not tend to like a Mono Awada, which actually is kind of hilarious, but I'll take our little innovations. Very nice to see. What else we got going back? Oh, this is a Horus Spriggans deck. And you know what this deck has in common? This stupid card right here. This is what we call the level 8 machine. I also like the fact that because we're playing, you know, really bad Spriggans cards, excuse me, Tally-Ho's an incredible Spriggans card with this, because calling back all of your friends is so stupid, but you actually have natural synergy to be allowed to play Trade-In. I still think that Trade-In is a brick or a giant Ash magnet. Yeah, trust me, the amount of times that you watch this card get Ash, you're just like, oh, I'll go ahead and pick up my cards and kind of call it a day here. But yeah, your entire centralized strategy here is you're going to be dropping by Sargass, and you're just kind of climbing on up here. Now, in a perfect world where I could open up the absolute nuts, you could technically make a giant trainer with a Captain Sargass, and then, I kid you not, drop on into this all kind of free on turn 1. That's like if you opened up all of the goons, and then, you know, the ability to kind of toggle up through this package as well. It would have to be an incredibly high roll, but it wouldn't be that unheard of for you to be able to gas that hard to the floor. But I think this is innovative. This is actually kind of genius, considering the fact that you have all of these moving pieces coming together here and getting the chance to shine. And our last list for you here is Fire Kings. And, you know, they're actually getting to play Populace back here as well. Now remember, this is added from your deck to your hand, so by drawing it. You can special summon it, and then on normal or special, you can add a Snake Eye Spell and Trap card from your deck to your hand. Yeah, just what I wanted was the ability to go Bonfire into Populace, and then, go ahead and go down my Snake Eyes line here into, you know, the original Sinful Spoils. You know, I think that this card definitely makes for some interesting additional combo lines and things you can do. Also see that we are playing the Snake Eye Ash in here as well. Let's call it what it is at this point in time. Oh. And there's the Amber Whale. You know, this is something that the OCG was talking about very early on, that Amber Whale was a crazy card, right? Like, especially, you know, when you have, of course, our Bestower Flames on the field here, you need a fire monster to go into, and guess who checks all of the marks? It is the Amber Whale. So, that is our OCG little kicker for you guys today. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.